Well, how's your body feeling today?
It's still good, thank you very much. The hamstrings, I'm a little bit tired, but apart from that, I felt worse. And I'm looking forward to our workout after this.
Excellent, me too. You said you had a bad night's sleep. How come?
I do not know. I blame it on the cat. Maybe it's just the weather. It's just one of those things. Interrupted sleep. I don't want to overanalyze it. It's just one of those things. And normally it doesn't bother me. 2 cups of coffee in the morning and I'm fine. But it's still not a good night's sleep.
One of my most successful clients in the 8 years that I've been doing this, he's someone who's just made great leaps and bounds in terms of his accomplishments. But he would come in every workout and I would say, "How are you doing?" And he would tell me how many hours of sleep he got the night before. And I thought, okay, that's good information. But it was also struck me as a little bit odd. Every time that would be the first thing he would tell me is, "I got this many hours of sleep." And he was very dedicated to it. And looking back on it now, having worked with this gentleman for years, I can see that data and that attention to his sleep has translated into many, many meaningful accomplishments for him. So there's your empirical or your anecdotal evidence, I guess, about the importance of sleep.
Good. I mean, yes, it's good to know, and I wouldn't even question that it's important. The thing is, with sleep, it's psychological. You can't force it. You can't go, I'm now having to fall asleep because it's after 10 o'clock and now I need to sleep. If you do that, you'll never fall asleep, right? So, yeah, it's a journey. It's a long story, and I think you just have to accept, or that's how I feel, that sometimes you sleep better than other times, and just don't make it a big deal. It's only when it becomes chronic and it sort of starts to impact your well-being that you need to do something about it. But yeah, right.
We said we were going to talk about how we began or how we got into fitness.
Yeah, you start because I'm sure your story is longer than mine.
Okay. Well, this can be sort of one of those most embarrassing moments kind of segment because there were moments that I recall from childhood that inspired me to get into fitness as a career. One of the first ones I remember is, the President's Physical Fitness Challenge. I don't know if you had something similar to this in Germany, but I was in 7th grade and, we were doing this challenge and one of them was pull-ups. And I can succinctly remember being on the pull-up bar, not being able to get a single pull-up and kicking my legs, sort of flailing as I head hung from the bar. And I remember being laughed at, and that was pretty transformational for me, and was part of my inspiration years later to get into this business. And I do remember I was probably about 14. Years later, I was in my early 30s, and I was a volunteer firefighter, and you had to take a test to qualify to be on a firefighter, and one of them was this pull-up test. And I remember acing that test and acing my fitness test, and I got more pull-ups than anybody else in my training group. So that was sort of from embarrassment sprung accomplishment. And there are a couple more stories like that I can share, but that experience helped set me on my fitness journey.
Oh my God, Mike, you had me at firefighter. So you could really have been a firefighter, a professional one.
I know, I was a volunteer.
Yeah, but if you're good at volunteering, you probably could have been a professional.
I was really good at the fitness aspects. Like I said, I aced my fitness test. They do a thing here in Seattle called the Firefighter Challenge, where you put on all of your firefighting gear, about 30 pounds, and then you race up to the top of the tallest building, or what was then the tallest building in Seattle. And I did very well at that. But the mechanical stuff, driving the rigs and unloading the hose and charging the hose and that stuff, it was not my forte. So felt really good and learned a lot, but ultimately decided it was not for me.
And that's how you got into it, and now you're a personal trainer.
I am a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer for about 8 years, second career for me, and I've never looked back. It's been a joy. What about you? Tell me how you ended up at my gym interested in strength training.
If I were to start when I was in school, we would be sitting here for the next 2 hours. Let me just say, I'm from East Germany, taking a lot of steps back now, right? That's where I grew up. And East Germany was kind of a very sporty country because we were a small country and we needed to get get on the world stage and derive our importance in the world stage also from the Olympics. So the Olympics and any Olympic sports were a big deal.
Okay.
So basically not tennis, not golf, but definitely athletics, track and field, swimming. Those were the big ones. Canoeing, so, anything where you could get a lot of medals. And we had scouts going around all the schools all the time to find talent.
Okay.
And I was never a sporty talent. I was told to do languages.
So you weren't scouted for any of the Olympic teams?
No,
Okay.
hilarious, even the thought.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was never good at sports. I was strong, okay, but I am completely uncoordinated. I can't do anything. So, interestingly, this has never really destroyed my my love of moving, even though I got bad grades in school. And then because I'm short, I was told I would be so much better at sports if I were only 5 centimeters taller.
Interesting.
Imagine being told that, right?
Right.
Like you can do anything
Yeah, what can you
about
do
your
about
height.
that?
Yeah. So there you
Yeah.
go. I got my very mediocre grades in sports, but I was good at everything else. So that was never a career issue. And then the war came down anyway.
Right.
And I sort of gave up on sports. I went to the gym every now and again because, you want to stay active.
Sure.
But I'm not the outdoorsy type either. But as, life went on, I realized I needed to do something to just keep strong.
Of
Not
course.
necessarily get stronger,
Yeah.
but to even just keep on
To
a certain
maintain.
level. Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And I do landscape design. Landscape designers are probably amongst the fittest people out there when it comes to professions. And again, so you want to keep fit in order to be able to be out there in the field on sites.
Measuring and doing all
Yeah,
that stuff they do on landscapes.
Exactly. It's actually quite physically demanding.
I believe it,
right?
yeah.
Especially in this area here where you have
Yeah.
slopes everywhere.
Sure.
And you're like a mountain goat out there on
Yeah.
those slopes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, 3 years ago, I had an accident, a really freaky one, where I broke my leg pretty badly. And I wasn't allowed to walk for 3 months.
Whoa.
Yes, I wasn't supposed to put any weight on my leg, and basically everything just shrank and I
Oh my
atrophied
gosh.
incredibly. Even, the healthy legs, sort of, I hopped on that a bit.
Yeah.
But that little bit of hopping couldn't really keep me going, right? So I gained a lot of upper body strength because I had this little walker
Okay.
that I used, and I was swinging on that, and that actually, gave me good strength there. But my legs were like totally gone. I could basically watch them getting skinnier and
Wow.
skinnier with all the muscle just
Oh my
going,
gosh.
literally week by week by week. And so after that, it was a long journey to recover, and I'm still, I would say, not fully recovered.
And that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I've got a hardware in my leg now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I wanted to do something, and I really also wanted to just change my body, sort of composition, as they say, right?
Yes.
So, just overall looking more defined, and I don't really have a picture in my mind, but I just really don't like to be looking flabby. It's one of those words, sorry. And I tried several things, going to the gym, but I'm one of those people who just donate to their local gym without actually going there.
Right, sure.
Plenty of us out there.
That's the business model. They take in more clients than actually use it. That's how most gyms make money.
Yeah, and I'm one of those. So, I was a good client. I then discovered Pilates, and that was really wonderful and a life changer because it gives you so much core strength. That's really great. It helps you with your posture and everything. And the Pilates teacher sees everything that's wrong with you. So I had this full assessment. And then I thought, okay, Pilates is great for the flexibility as well, but now I need to do something for the extremities,
Yeah.
for the overall strength.
Sure.
And then I found you, and the rest is history, I guess.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
And you've done, I've said this before, but an amazing job of immersing yourself in strength training as a lifestyle. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the curiosity that you bring. You mentioned Olympians or Olympics. Interestingly, I have an Olympian in my family. So my grandfather actually qualified for, I believe it was the 32 Olympics in Germany, 32 or 36.
36.
36.
Germany, Berlin, 36.
Yeah, 36. So he qualified. He was a water polo player, and he qualified. He ended up not going because his dad was ill. His dad ran a speakeasy, so Grandpa Gus had to stay behind in the Bronx and run the speakeasy. But I like to think that I have some of those genes that have been passed down to me. But he was certainly inspirational in my fitness journey. More recently, when I was in the corporate world considering a change, I met a guy named Willie Austin who ran a program called the Austin Foundation. Willie was a drug-free weightlifting champion at the University of Washington, and he did free fitness programs for kids. And I had the opportunity to volunteer with his organization, and that was transformational, just to see the impact that those programs had on kids. He would bring them in to the gymnasium. We would do basic but fun and functional exercises. He would feed them a healthy meal. And I thought to myself, I want to have that kind of impact on people. Was there someone in your life who sort of helped you along or encouraged you along on your fitness journey, or someone that you get inspiration from?
Well, I do have a few friends back home in Germany who are generally just very fit, and they do a lot. They spend a lot of time in the gym and outdoors and walking and skiing and everything. And I never really go with them because but I'm very happy for them to sort of help me to suck me into that lifestyle. That's fun. Yeah. It's just here in Seattle, not really. No. I have nobody who sort of grabs me and pulls me along. Nobody, and I would love to have one, even as this accountability partner kind of thing. No, not really. I mean, my deadlift challenge comes from my Pilates duet partner.
Right.
So this lady Terry, who does Pilates with me, and she used to be a power lifter, and she is very strong. And she said her personal best was 280 pounds at the time. And so the moment she said that, you remember, I turned around, I came to you and I said, we have a goal, Mike.
That's right. You're out to get her.
And that's what we're working on. 115 down. Yep. Quite a few more to go.
But steadily making progress.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying it. And strength has never really been my problem. It's more the coordination around it. So.
Well, you've made great progress in 6 months that we've been training together. Any advice that you have for folks who are thinking about embarking on a strength training journey?
Just do it. Go for it.
Love it.
Yeah, make time for it. You would want to do this. Don't be, distracted by people telling you not to do it. Find a personal trainer. Definitely find a personal trainer, at least in the beginning, and not just the front desk guy in the gym who gives you a little plan, but actually find somebody that you can speak to every week on a regular basis, so that you can be sure to do all the exercises properly. And then at some point you may decide to go do it by yourself, do it in a group, find the right way to do it, keep your personal trainer. I do realize that's also a funding issue, of course. Not everybody can afford a personal trainer all the time. Or, find other ways of getting fit. If you do it by running in the park, go for it. I couldn't talk to that because I hate running. And I'm not afraid to say it. So find the type of exercise that's fun for you as well. If somebody tells you you have to do this and that exercise and you really don't like it, maybe just don't do it.
I think that's great. Yeah, they say the best workout program is one that you're going to stick with. So finding something that you like doing or you're comfortable doing, or investing in understanding it better. As you've said, it doesn't have to be indefinitely. I mean, I remember when I first saw kettlebell, I had no idea what to do with it. And in fact, my form was so bad that when I would swing it, I would inevitably tweak my back. And, I invested in some lessons, and, what was originally a weakness for me has become, an area of strength and one that I love. And I'm so glad I made that investment, because I feel more comfortable. I feel like I've gotten stronger. Kettlebell is just a great tool for strength training, and I'm able to share some of that knowledge with my clients. So I think that's great advice you give people, is just to do it, and it may be worth the upfront expense to learn how to do something properly. You don't have to do it forever, but it can help ignite or accelerate your journey.
And spend some time researching what it is that you want to do for your fitness and your strength, because you don't want to add stress to your life by doing something that you really are not into, right? Because it's supposed to be also relaxing, I think.
Yeah.
And it does for me. I know I do it because I know how good I feel afterwards, right? I'm not always in the mood, but again, I have a personal trainer who's waiting for me, and I know Mike would kick my ass if I didn't show up. So that's not an option.
Yeah. I think that's a great point. Listen to what you like, and fitness is a journey, and journeys can take different directions and go different routes. And so if you're doing something that you're not enjoying or not looking forward to, listen to that. Yeah.
I'm glad we discussed this.
Me too.
It's good to actually look back and see how it all started, and what I want to get out of this, and hopefully we'll keep going.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, this gym is too good to give up. Come on.
Thank you. I love this gym. It was, we spent a lot of time thinking about it, a lot of time building it, and we're so grateful to have it.
Yeah, and so am I, and I'm feeling like a kid in a candy store here every time I'm
I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Totally.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for listening. Tune in again to Deadlift for Glory, and remember, you are stronger than you think. Bye, guys.
Bye.